Hi, I'm Captain Chad with Sportfish Michigan, and today I'd like to show you a helpful technique on how to target salmon, steelhead, and brown trout on Lake Michigan's wonderful tributaries. Today I'd like to touch on a technique called bottom bouncing. Bottom bouncing can be a very effective technique in shallow and in deep water situations for both resident trout and steelhead. And this can also be used on fly rods and spinning rods. What I like to do is, I like to do the main line to a size 12 barrel swivel, and then what I'll do is I'll have a snap swivel and a bead in between the two to stop my weight from catching onto the size 12 barrel swivel. This is really effective because you can choose what size weights you want. A lot of guys like to use split shot, some guys like to use bagged split shot. I like to use just pencil lead, and what I do is I cut it to a certain length, and then I can put a hole in it and attach it to my snap swivel, and I can use whatever weight necessary for whatever current, seam, or depth. After doing that and figuring out the type of weight that I want, I then move down to my leader line. Now my leader line in this situation with a 10-pound main is an 8-pound fluorocarbon leader. It's a little heavier program. I like to use it on some of the bigger rivers and even some of the faster flowing tributaries that are smaller. I move down to about 2.5 to 3 feet as a leader. And in this specific situation, I have a trout bead, an 8mm trout bead. This bead is then slid up the line 2 inches, roughly 1 inch to 2 inches from my size 10 trout bead hook. And whatever hook you want to use is fine. A lot of guys like to use trout bead hooks. A lot of guys like to use owners or just your standard egg hook. Now with this situation, you can get rid of this bead and even fish a 2 to 3 foot leader with a spawn bag. Whatever you'd like to prefer would be fine. Now in this specific situation, a lot of anglers will do a dropper. They'll tie direct to the shank and run another bead down, say 12 or 13 inches, or even a dropper fly. Now in this specific situation, we like to run just a bead, and it's a very effective way to get steelhead in the tailouts of beds, to get brown trout in the tailouts of beds, and even fish in your pre-spawn times and try to get your steelhead in that 6 to 10 foot of water. So take this helpful technique, use it for yourself, and see what you can come up with. Thank you very much for tuning in to Sportfish Michigan, and have a great day.